Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Cass. Today I will be doing another bookish video. So I do apologize, I haven't come out with any art videos yet. I'm working on it, I promise I am. I do have a big painting going on and I'm thinking about showing you guys. So we'll get back to that later. But today I wanted to kind of talk about the spring reads I've done. So that would be like April, May, and June reads. I know we're like mid-July, but I've been traveling a lot and so, you know, life happens. So stay tuned if you would like to hear some of the reviews I have for the 19 books I read from April, May, and June. Okay, so I started April off with Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. And I did immerse read this one with the graphic audio. Now I gave this one 4 stars. Now I probably, if I just read it and I didn't have the graphic audio with it, because I really enjoy graphic audio, I probably would have given it like 3 or 3.5. But because it had the graphic audio, like I think I scored it a lot higher. So that's just me though. I did like this one. I did like the creatures in it. They were very interesting and I actually sketched a few of them. That was the most interesting part, I think, was the creatures in this book. I don't want to give too much away because I'm trying to stay spoiler free. But it is about a girl, a princess named Odessa. And I did like that her character was not like this warrior type character. Like she didn't know archery or she didn't know how to sword fight or anything like that in the beginning. So it was nice to see like a character that was just kind of, you know, average at first. So that's my thoughts on Shield of Sparrows. Like I said, I am going to read The Rites of Starling soon, probably. I'm into a lot of horror right now, so we'll get back into that. Okay, my next reads in April I have to show you together because I did tandem read them. So I had never read or finished the Throne of Glass series, and I did tandem read these two. And I'm so glad I did because honestly, this book was good, but it was so much better that I was able to like switch between this one and this one the whole time. And I obviously loved both of these books. I gave Empire of Storms 5 stars. And then I did give Tower of Dawn 5 stars as well. I might switch that to like a 4.5, but it was together, like I kind of rated them as a whole and it got 5 stars. Like these two together were amazing. Again, I'm trying not to with the spoilers, but this one just like solidified so many characters for me and I loved it. And this one actually made me like Chael again. So I like that one as well. So if you have not read this series and you get to these books, I highly suggest the tandem read, like 100%. I would not have done that any other way, and I'm so glad that I tandem read these. Okay, the next book in April was actually an audiobook. I did sign up for Audible. I'm not really a big audiobook person, but that's just because like I'm a visual learner. And I decided to get it and I was going to try it. I was like, it was a short book and it was called Intercepts. I'll put a picture right here. It was called Intercepts and it was good. It was like, I felt like it gave like this like weird alien vibe, but also like alternate dimension vibes. And it's a horror book and I did give that one 3 stars. I did like the ending of this book a lot. I thought that the main guy got what was coming to him and that was the best part of the book, really. But yes, it was a good book. I would highly recommend for the horror people. Okay, so the next book I read in April was Bloom by Delilah Dawson. And I loved this book. Like, this was kind of like the first of this type of book I started reading. And honestly, it says it's horror, but I mean, it is horror. Don't worry. But it has more of like a thriller vibe to it because of like, I don't know, it doesn't really have like any paranormal or like monsters or anything like that in it. So I feel like it is more on like the thriller type level, but very gruesome, very gory. So keep an eye on that. Okay. I loved it though. I mean, and then look at that cover. Is that not like beautiful? That was what drew me to this one. I can read a little bit about it inside. Okay. So it's about Rosemary. Rosemary meets Ash at a farmer's market. Ash, precise, pretty, and practically perfect, sells bars of soap in delicate pastel colors, sprinkle spackled cupcakes stacked on scalloped stands, beeswax candles, jelly jars of honey, and glossy green plants. Ro has never felt this way about another woman. With Ash, she wants to be her and have her in equal measure. But as her obsession with Ash consumes her, she may find she's not the one doing the devouring. So, yeah, Ro and Ash, love this book. I would recommend. I think I did give this one 4 stars. The ending was crazy. I can't give too much away, but yeah, I was not expecting that. So, Bloom by Delilah Dawson, not Debney Perry. Delilah Dawson. All right, I'm still thinking of Shield of Sparrows. It's like making a stack here. Maybe, can we see the stack? All right, we're making a stack. One of them was an audiobook though, so, all right. Okay, the next book I read in April, which I absolutely loved, was Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. Now, this is my first book I had ever read by her, and I will be reading more. The way she describes her characters is just superb. I love her writing, excellent writing style. This book, I knew it was going to be about vampires right away. But the way that they explain it is just wild. And it has like 3 different timelines too. And so I did immerse read this one as well. So I had the audiobook, which I highly recommend. Had very good narrators in it. So I had the audiobook for this one. I also read it along with the audiobook. I did not annotate this one though, which is weird because usually I do. I think I was just like so into the story. I kind of just like, oh, I'm not going to annotate this one. It is a thick boy. So be prepared for that. But this is a really good book about women. 3 different timelines, like I said. It is about vampires. It is gory. Not so much scary, but I don't find vampires scary. So maybe, I mean, if you do find vampires scary, then maybe it is. Not so much scary. Excellent writing. I gave this one 4 stars, 4.5 stars, my bad. 4.5 stars. Definitely would recommend this one, 100%. Okay, my last book in April, I did take a break from when I did the tandem read, but my last book in April was Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. And this just like finished the whole story for me. I'm so glad I finally went back to Throne of Glass. So I had attempted to read Throne of Glass a few years ago, and I stopped after Heir of Fire. I don't know why. I think I got distracted with like another book or something. But I stopped after Heir of Fire, and then so I did this year pick up the series again, started all over again, like from the beginning. I started with Assassin's Blade, believe it or not. I started with Assassin's Blade, and I continued on. But I did in April finally finish the entire series with Kingdom of Ash, and I did love this book. Gidget, stop it. I did love this book. I gave this 5 stars. It completely just like seals the whole story off. Still lots of action, everything going on in here. Everybody reuniting in this one was amazing. I love that. Like all the people who got separated and they all reunited in here. Had some sad moments. Not too bad though. Definitely, I mean, if you haven't read Throne of Glass, I wouldn't say I like it better than ACOTAR, but it has points that are better. But I'm still an ACOTAR girly, don't worry. All right, so we're putting that on the stack. I wonder if I can even stack all 19 here. I guess we'll find out, right? We'll find out. Okay, in May, I started May off with Don't Let the Forest In. And this is a YA horror, so it has horror aspects, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. This is an eco horror, which I'm finding out is my favorite genre. I love it so much. So Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. And it is about a boy. Let's see, I'll read it for you. High school senior Andrew finds refuge in the twisted fairy tales that he writes for only one person. And so Thomas Rye, the boy with perpetual ink-stained hands and hair like autumn leaves, and with his twin sister Dove, they keep him at a cold distance. When they return back to the academy, Andrew finds himself leaning on his friend even more. So there's like this whole twist going on between Andrew and his best friend Thomas and his sister Dove, and they spend like a lot of time, like everybody's ignoring him and he doesn't understand why. Thomas is acting weird, but he's still like friends with him. There's like some incident that happened like the year before, but they don't really talk about it until the end. But the eco horror in this is amazing. Like when roots and trees and things like that start like growing inside you or growing into you, I love that. I'll eat that up. So Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. I gave this one 4 stars. I did do the audio book of this one, which I'm kind of sad I did, because like it has like really cool illustrations in it. And if you know me, you know I love a book with some good illustrations in it. I have another one coming up. I'll explain that one to you. Yeah, there's some really cool illustrations in this. But Don't Let the Forest In, C.G. Drews, amazing book. Definitely would recommend. Let's add it to our stack. All right. The next book I read in May was Mary. Now, by Nat Cassidy. This book was great, and honestly did not expect it to take the turn that it did. I went into this book just by, like, someone mentioned it on YouTube. I think it was Sinead. And I love her videos. And I loved like the way she explained it. So I can I'll read the back for you. Okay. Mary is a quiet, middle-aged woman doing her best to blend into the background. Unremarkable, invisible, unknown even to herself. But lately things have been changing inside Mary. Along with the hot flashes and body aches, she can't look in the mirror without passing out. And the voices in her head have been urging her to do unspeakable things. Okay, so fired from her job in New York, she moves back to her hometown, hoping to reconnect with her past and inner self. Instead, visions of terrifying, mutilated spectators overwhelm her with increasing regularity, and she begins auto-writing strange thoughts and phrases. Mary discovers that these experiences are echoes of an infamous serial killer. Then the killings begin again. Mary's definitely going to find herself. So it's about like a middle-aged woman who everybody's telling her she's going through perimenopause. And so she's having to deal with all of this stuff. And there's just like little things in here that I love. She has her loved ones, which are these little figurines. And it just reminds me of like the older people who have like the little collectibles of like the little figurines. And they're like wear like these European like clothes and everything. So that's what I think of when she says the loved one. Oh, Hummels. They're called Hummels. I just remembered. So that's what I think of when she says her loved ones. And then she moves back to, she's in New York and gets fired. She moves back to her hometown in Arizona, which is where I'm at. And so I thought that was really cool too. Nowhere near me. This is like in Tucson area, but this is, so like when they talk about like the desert and how hot and everything, and I'm like, oh wow, okay. But I did love this book. I actually gave this book 3.5 stars, just because of like some of the things at the end got like wild and like a little too wild for me. But I gave it 3.5 stars. I did immerse read this one. So I did listen to an audiobook while I read it. No annotating in this one. I did that more in June. But I would recommend, because of just the storyline in general. Like it's a good one. I'm not gonna lie. It is a really good one. We'll put that on the stack. Alrighty. All right, so the next book I read in May was Bride. It's been sitting on my shelf for so long, and I finally picked it up and read it. It is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Now, let me see here. I did audiobook this one, and I did not immerse read it. I just audiobooked it because it had been sitting on my shelf for so long. And but it was a very, very good audiobook, and the narration was very good. I gave this one 4 stars. I love the concept of it. I was confused about a few parts, but I'll tell this later on because I've read a few Ali Hazelwood since then. I really love her female characters. Like, she does a really good job, and they're like funny and sarcastic, and I really like that about her characters. So I will be continuing to read Ali Hazelwood 100%. This one is about, she's a vampire and he's a werewolf and he's an alpha. So she has to marry him in order to make it so, doesn't even say on here, but it's like a marriage of convenience. So she has to marry him for politics, but it turns out later that, this isn't really giving too much away because, you know, it's a mating book, but it turns out later that she is his mate, and that is like in the first couple chapters, like he realizes it, but she can't because she's a vampire, so she doesn't really understand that. But it's really good. It is very spicy. So if you're not into that, just beware that there is, I gave this one like 3 little spice things because it is spicy, and it has an interesting kind of spice. So make sure you read that before getting into it if you're not like into the spice. Definitely would recommend otherwise though. And Ali Hazelwood is one of my new favorite authors. Right after reading this, I definitely went into Mate. This I gave 5 stars because I loved these characters. Now I have to look up the character's name because I read so many books. Oh, Serena and Cohen. Yes, Serena and Cohen, which they were in Bride. They were in Bride, like they were side characters in Bride. And now they have this whole book. Now, this is when I started like really immerse reading. Like you can see I annotated this one. I read this one and I listened to the audiobook and I annotated. Now, when I say annotated though, I don't like to write in my books. So it really is just tabs. And sometimes I'll write like bigger notes on a sticky note and put that in there too, because I won't write in my books, but that's just me. Definitely would recommend Mate. This right here, because I usually do like which book won overall for the month, and this is what won for the month of May as being my top book of the month. So definitely would recommend this one. Very short reads. They don't take long at all. This one had some weird stuff at the end that I was kind of like, you know, I get kind of weird about like, it's difficult when the story changes like gears really fast and brings up something, and I don't know how to explain it without giving away spoilers, but I did overall love this book and I love the characters. Again, Ali Hazelwood does amazing things with her female characters. And I love them. I do very much. Okay. Alrighty, so the next book, the next book I read in May. Let me see, make sure I read this in May. I am just looking through my reading journal right now. so that way I can keep track. Okay, yeah, the next book I read in May was another Ali Hazelwood. I read The Love Hypothesis. This also has been sitting on my shelf for a long time. I do have like the painted edges collector's edition one that I got at Changing Hands a long time ago. And oh look, I didn't even realize that was in there. Looks like I was going to annotate it, but I got so into it that I did not annotate. But I did immerse read this one. So I did have the audiobook, and oh wow, look how cute that is. I didn't even realize that was in there. Look at that. I love that. I did immerse read this one, so I did an audiobook while reading it. And I gotta tell you, I don't know why I waited so long to read this one. This one is really good. I gave this one 4 stars. I loved Olive. I loved Adam. I love the fact that this is based off of a Kylo Ren and Rey fan fiction, because I'm a huge fan fiction person. So I love the fact that this is like originally supposed to be Kylo Ren and Rey, and that's adorable to me. But this is really good. I can't wait to see the movie for this. This is going to be a really good one, especially since the actors they're very similar. It would have been better if they had Adam Driver, because that's what she based it off. Oh my God, it's leaning. But I'm excited to see that one. Okay, this might fall on me. Oh well, we'll make it work, right? We'll make it work. Okay, my next book in May was The Night Prince. I do love this series. I also gave this one, I gave The Wolf King 5 stars. I gave The Night Prince 5 stars. I have this beautiful little special edition I got from Target. And this one is annotated as well. I had a hard time annotating this one because like I didn't want to ruin the edge. So there's sticky notes in there, but like they're hidden. So that way I didn't ruin the pretty painted edges on this one. I love this one, and I was worried to read this one because I love the Wolf King so much, and I loved, gosh, what's his name? Colum? Is it Colum? Yes, I loved Colum very much in the Wolf King, and I was worried that them bringing in, gosh, what's his name? Blake. I'm so bad with names. Them bringing in Blake as like a love interest type thing, kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's been done so much, like as a whole like Tamlin and Rhysand thing, and there's so many of them. And I was worried about that, but at the end, I did like this one a lot, and it was well written. It has a really good story, which is what I like. I like the way the story is going in this one, and I can't wait to read the last one. I think it comes out this year sometime. I have it written down somewhere, but the last one comes out later this year. But yes, The Night Prince. I'm not going to even try to say this woman's last name, but by Lauren Powell Freeman, something like that. I marked this one as a 2 for spice, and that's it. I don't want to give too much away because this is the second in the series. So if you know that you have to read The Wolf King first before you read The Night Prince. So, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm probably not going to stack any more up here because the next ones I read were some Zodiac Academy ones, and we all know how big those guys are. Okay, towards the end of May, I picked up Zodiac Academy again. I am still reading the series. I want everybody to see the size of these books. Okay, these are just gigantic books, and lots of characters, a lot of characters. I love these books. This is Fated Throne, so this is book 6. Sorry, it says right on there. This is book 6 in the series. I have not read any of those additional ones, like the ones about the Fae and the wolves and everything, and things like that. But I'm just like sticking to like the original series. This is a thick one. I did rate this one a 4 stars. This one made me so angry at the very beginning. because like one of my favorite characters was like a slave to like this guy I hate so much, and it is a lot to go through. So if you know Zodiac Academy, you know this is a very frustrating book. I did rate this one 4 stars, mainly because it irritated me. The spice in these books is wild. Okay, I rate the spice as like a level 4 for these, because it's not like dark romance spice, but it can get pretty crazy, and there's a lot of it. Now, Zodiac Academy, though, I want to say has characters in it that I will hold with me forever. Like Seth Capella, oh my gosh, I love him so much. Tori, I love her a lot. Darcy, oh my gosh. And Orion, oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm like hitting my microphone. Hopefully that doesn't mess up my video. Just saying, like, yeah, the character development in these books is amazing. If you haven't tried any of the Zodiac Academies, I would recommend. Okay, yeah, that's not working. So I'm gonna make a second pile over here. Now, to finish off May, I did actually go into Heartless Sky and did book 7. Now, I do immerse read these, so I have to, because they're fantasy. I have to immerse read fantasy most of the time. This one's even thicker than book 6. Lots of stuff going on in this one. This one is left on a huge cliffhanger. I am reading book 8 right now. This had a lot of what the fuck moments in it. But I loved it. I did give this one 4 stars. I immersed read this one. This one does have 4 spicy rating too. I would say most of the Zodiac Academies have like a really high spice in them. Maybe not so much the first one, but all the other ones, it's like continuously throughout the book through multiple characters, like all the characters. Sometimes they switch around. So sometimes there's 3. Okay, so beware when you go into that series. This is a very good series. I do love Zodiac Academy. It's a commitment, that's for sure, to get into Zodiac Academy, but I would definitely recommend all the time. Oh my gosh, don't fall on me. Okay, I am now in June. Now, June was a slower month for me. It was very busy with kids, recitals, birthdays. So June was not as productive, but Gidget, don't knock the books over, girl. She's gonna sit right there on the couch and she's gonna rub her face on the books and knock them over. The first book I finished in June was The Fallout. That's right, The Fallout. I'm gonna put it here because I did read this on my Kindle. This is a Dramini fan fiction, and I read a lot of Dramini fan fictions. I cannot rate these books for you because it's like against etiquette to rate fan fictions. I did love The Fallout. It is very long. Some of the main parts in it, though, it does take place like during the war, and it kind of like extends the war a little bit. And so, like, a lot of it, actually, like 6 years. So they extend the war by like 6 years. Draco, like in the very beginning, Draco comes over to their side, mainly because of Pansy, because Pansy didn't want to. And that's, I love that. So he comes over to the good side and he starts working. And so the Fallout, I think what they mean by the Fallout is because like they had all these different safe houses all around like Europe. And they would like travel from one to the other, and then like there was a lot of very gory scenes in this one, a lot of war scenes which were done very well, and there was some character deaths and things like that, and I did like this one. Like I said, I can't give you like a star rating for this one, but I did like The Fallout. It's very long though. Beware of that. So that was my first read of June. My second read of June, oh God, I love this book, was called Slewfoot. Now, this is a horror. It is a folk horror though, which I have found out I also love so much. This one has been sitting on my shelf for a while. And it has the, oh, I did annotate this one. So there's like actual notes here. I'm gonna show you. Cause like I said, sometimes if I really have something I want to remember, I will write like on a bigger Post-it note. Oh, I just saw it. Where'd it go? Oh, see, like right there, I'll write like on a Post-it note. That's a Post-it, like a clear like Post-it note. And that's what I will do because I won't write in my books. This one also has illustrations in it that are gorgeous. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is, oh my gosh, the little creatures. The little creatures kind of give me nightmares a little bit with those creatures with the human heads. Like, just is such beautiful illustrations. So this is Slewfoot by Brom. I would always recommend. I gave this one 5 stars. I loved the folklore aspect of this. I love that it was about a woman who was being cheated out of her land that she worked on herself with her husband, but because he's gone, like, they want to take her land from her. But you know, it's 1600s, so that's typical for that time. All right, let me read a little bit about this one. Set in colonial New England, Slewfoot is a tale of magic and mystery, of triumph and terror, and acclaimed author and artist Brom. Oh wait, I didn't know he was the artist. Oh my God, it says right on the painting. Wow, I love him even more now. He's the author and the artist. That's wild. Okay, an ancient spirit awakens in a dark wood. The wild folk call him Father, Slayer, and Protector. The colonists call him Slewfoot, Demon Devil. To Abby, a recently widowed outcast, alone and vulnerable in a pious village, he is the only one she can turn to for help. All right, so together they ignite a battle between pagan and Puritan, one that threatens to destroy the entire village, leaving nothing but ashes, bloodshed in its wake. So it does give a lot off the bat, but it's so good. It makes me so angry when I read about like witches and like how they would burn them at the stake and like all that stuff like that. That kind of stuff makes me very angry. But the ending of this book completely made that so much better. The ending of this book is so good. And honestly, like, I thought it was, you know, when they say Slewfoot, I thought it was like about the devil, but I don't want to give away too much, but technically he's not. But yeah, again, folklore, amazing. Would love this. Love this one. Would recommend Slewfoot to everybody. Okay, my next read in May was Hazelthorn, also by C.G. Drews. And this is another eco horror. I love this one. I did like Don't Let the Forest In better, but I don't know, because this one, now that I'm thinking about it, this one had some really crazy aspects to it. It's about a boy who lives in this mansion with this elderly man, and he is a ward. And the elderly man's grandson comes in from school or something, and like there's like something between these two where he like said he like tried to hurt him or kill him in the very beginning, and then I don't know, but then okay, let me just read it. Evander has lived like a ghost in the forgotten corners of the Hazelthorn estate ever since he was taken by his reclusive billionaire guardian Byron Lennox Hall when he was a child. For his safety, Evander has been given 3 ironclad rules to follow. He can never leave the estate, he can never go into the gardens, and most importantly, he can never again be left alone with Byron's charming, underachieving grandson, Laurie. All right. The last rule has been in place ever since Laurie tried to kill Evander 7 years ago, and yet somehow Evander is still obsessed with him. When Byron suddenly dies, Evander inherits Hazelthorn's immense Gothic mansion and arches of sprawling grounds, along with the entirety of the Lennox Hall family's vast wealth. But Evander's sure his guardian was murdered, and Lori may be the only one who can help him find the killer before they come for Evander next. So, yeah, it is gothic horror, I would say. Yeah, like the way they explain the mansion, the way that they explain, like they go into the library and like do all this crazy stuff, and the eco horror part of it. I love. There was a part where he like felt something in his mouth and he thought it was a tooth like coming loose, and it was like a root, and I just love that stuff. This is really good. I would highly recommend Hazelthorn. I gave this 4 stars. So same as Don't Let the Forest In. Different, same vibes, but you know, completely different story. So good book, good book. Okay, my last book in June. I love this one. Into the Drowning Deep. I did really like this one. One of my YouTube people that I watch recommended this one, and then another one did, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna read this one. So Into the Drowning Deep is one of the first books that I've read well, not the first books, but it is one of the books I haven't read in a long time that was actually like scary. Like I'm reading it at night and I'm like, oh, I don't want to read this at night anymore. So it was like actually scary. So I'll read a little bit about this one. Oh, it's by Mira Grant, by the way. Let's see. 7 years ago, the Artagatis set off on a voyage to the Mariana Trench to film a mockumentary bringing to life ancient sea creatures of legend. It was lost at sea with all hands. Some have called it a hoax, others have called it a tragedy. Now a new crew has been assembled. Some seek to validate their life's work, some seek the greatest hunt of all, some seek the truth. But for the ambitious young scientist Victoria Stewart, this voyage is to uncover the fate of the sister that she lost. Whatever the truth may be, it will only be found below the waves. So yeah, it is about the girl, Victoria. So her sister died on that trip. And then like 7 years later, she's like a biologist, and she's really, the science aspect in this was really great as someone who is a biologist or was a biology major. I loved all the sciencey stuff that was happening in this book. It made it 10 times better for me. And also, I'm a huge cryptid fan, and this kind of touches on that, on the cryptids. And it doesn't really say in the beginning, oh, I did annotate this one. I annotated this one. It doesn't really say in the thing, but if you look it up, it's about like these mermaid creatures, and they're scary. They're very scary, and they will tear you up. The worst part is the mimicry. So that's the creepiest part, I think, about the deep sea creatures, mermaids. I won't give too much. I'm trying not to give too much away. Okay, so like that's the creepiest part, is the mimicry. But highly recommend. I gave this one 4 stars. Definitely scary, and yeah, would recommend that one as well. Okay, so that's it for the books. The 19 books I have read in April, May, and June. I hope you enjoyed some of my commentary on this video. I am still getting used to like talking about books without spoiling them, but also kind of giving you like info about it. So we'll hopefully that'll improve with time. I would probably still keep doing like the quarterly book things, because I don't read as many books as a lot of people do. Like 19 is good for me, but I know like a lot of people can read like 19 books in 1 month. So this is 3 months worth of books. I am currently reading a lot of books right now for July. I'm on book 6 for July, so I am reading a lot more again. I also do keep a reading journal. I was gonna see if maybe anybody would be interested in seeing some of that. I do like challenges. I did a bingo, but I'm like almost done with the bingo already. So I do challenges and I do like spreads for each book I've read. I haven't done any for my July reads yet, which is fine. I just do it at the end of the month. So let me know if you'd be interested in seeing my reading journal that I'm keeping. Oh, it's actually looking pretty thick right there. So, but other than that, that's everything. If next week I am finally getting my last bookshelf. My books are falling. I can hear them. I am getting my last bookshelf. So I've been ordering these bookshelves. I bought 2 and because they're much taller. So we moved into this house last year and these bookshelves have done well for me in my previous place, but this has much higher ceilings in this house and I need more space for books. So I got much taller, much wider bookshelves coming, and I bought 2 and then they were out. And so I had to wait for a 3rd one to come in stock. So that one will be here next week and I'm so excited for that. I will do a whole book shelf, like you can watch me tear everything down and put everything back up again. I thought that would be a fun video to watch as well. Thank you for joining me and let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. Bye.